Welcome back, everyone. It's another fantastic day at What's on Your Plate podcast. I'm Sarah, your host, and today I'm welcoming a true badass to the conversation. Evie Kevish joins me today. It was really hard to encapsulate all the awesomeness of Evie in today's episode, but you'll get a glimpse of why juicing has become a lifestyle for her, how she thrives as a plant-based weightlifter, and how influencing our youth to make better, more conscious decisions is such important work. So without further ado, I give you Evie. Okay, we are here with Evie Kevish, certified juice therapist. Welcome, Evie. Thank you for joining and being with me this morning.
Thank you so much for having me today. Truly appreciate it.
I'm so excited to talk to you because so much of what you do resonates with what I do. I know, of course, we're both on our plant-based journeys a little bit differently, but also with the same mindset of just plants being fuel. So I'd love to hear more about your place in it all and how you found yourself even interested in this journey.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll tell you, I had two kids in 2 years and I was really overweight just from having two kids back to back. And I was just really struggling with energy and really just trying to find, something to fuel my body and make me feel better. And I was always like pretty much, I don't know, for like all my 30s, I guess. I was always like an avocado and eggs kind of girl in the morning, every morning. So then I was like, you know what, I want to try smoothies and just see how I feel. So I started doing smoothies and I started feeling really good and it felt good. And as I was doing that, I was just reading more about fruit and really learning about fruit and the power of fruit and stuff. And then I started to see stuff about juice on social media and stuff, and it really caught my eye. And what captivated me was like the actual colors of the juices. Like they just looked so good and so beautiful. And I was like, I think I want to try that. So I had my first kid when I was 35, and then I became vegan on my 40th birthday and really just understanding plant-based nutrition. And I am an athlete as well. So I was a little hesitant at first because I was like, always thinking about the protein and how am I going to make gains and achieve my athletic abilities on plants. But as I started doing more plants and eating more plants, I was noticing I was leaning out and getting stronger and faster on my workouts and just feeling really good. So I started doing, like I said, the juices. I started, really getting into juicing, and it really changed my life. It really took off with it. I started just feeling good. The weight was coming off. I was having super high levels of energy and just feeling amazing. Like I noticed a huge change in my hair, my skin, just everything. I felt so good. So as I was sharing my journey on social media, more and more people just kept asking me about the juices and different kinds of recipes and stuff like that. So I was like, I wonder if there's anything that I can do to go to school for this because I want to help people and I want to make sure I'm telling them the correct information. So I found the Juice Guru Institute and I did the mastery program there. And after that, I started my business, and now here I am, certified juice therapist. A couple of years later, I started my business and really love to help. Mostly, I help moms and women, but I have a couple male clients as well, and just really love to inspire, educate, and motivate people on the power of juice, natural and holistic health and healing, and how plants and juice and fruit can really change your life. So that's kind of it in a
Wow.
nutshell.
That's fantastic.
Thank
That's
you.
fantastic. And, you just completely took charge of where you were in your life and made a complete switch, it sounds like, to just take a risk on yourself and try something different. That had to be kind of hard. And finding the courage to do that, like you said, you were a little bit hesitant because of not knowing whether it was right from an athletic standpoint. But I would imagine, too, just I can remember initially just going vegan, and it was not even necessarily from a health standpoint right away. It was more just, eliminating animals from my diet, and just the backlash from even just family of, oh, you're not going to eat this, you're not going to eat that. And to go from, omni to juicing, I mean, seems to be pretty extreme. How did you handle that from those around you? Were they accepting and supportive of that?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. It was kind of a struggle at first. I'm Puerto Rican, so a lot of our food is based around meat,
Mm.
and our holidays are always like lechon, which is like a pork roast, pollo guisado, like a chicken stew. That's another big one. So my family initially they were just like, "Oh, she's vegan," but then as it progressed, and then I wasn't eating as much of the foods, they were accepting, but I think a little like, they didn't understand because I was opposite of you. Like initially, I went plant based for the health aspect, and I didn't really learn or understand the animal portion of it until later. And that's when it really like hit me, And even this morning when my kids were getting ready for school, they were talking about candy, and my daughter said that she knew that a Kit Kat was milk chocolate and she didn't want to eat it because she loves the animals. And it really touched my heart. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's really resonating with her now. So, yes, at first it was challenging because thinking like, well, what am I going to eat? And can I still have, what I like and dishes that I like?
Mm-hmm.
But as go further into it, you can basically have everything that you love and make it into a plant-based version. People just don't know, or they're scared, or they think like, oh no, there's no way it'll ever taste it that good. But then you taste it, like when I had your wraps for my daughter's birthday, everyone's like, oh my God, these are bomb. I'm like, see, and they're vegan. So I'm like, you never know until you try. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
but everyone, I always like when I have a party or go somewhere, like I'll bring a dish to share, and everybody always ends up liking it. And I'm like, see, it's plant-based and you didn't even know.
I think people get really hung up on just what they've always done. It's like they feel sort of threatened by the idea that, perhaps they could maybe not be doing things correctly all these years, their whole life. And not to say it's incorrect the way that they've been doing. People, they want to be told that, what they're doing isn't awesome. Is feeding people, doing that with food. I'm not going to be the person, all due respect to those that are, but I'm not going to be the person that stands, with a sign, marching or doing, extreme demonstrations, showing the, I guess, extreme nature that animals are treated in the food industry. So I'm never going to be able to do that. But I feel like feeding people good food is very relatable. People want to know that they can eat food that they love. And when you share it with them, then they start to become believers.
Absolutely. And the fact that it's good, you know what I mean? Like even the treats that
Right.
it's like whether it's sweet and savory or salty, I mean, it's all kinds of dishes and meals that you can have that are just absolutely incredible. Even this past weekend, since the city reopened, my husband and I have been dying to go out, and we went to Sunda and just maxed out on all the vegan dishes. Awesome vegan sushi, and that's what I'm
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
like vegan sushi, but it was so good, so good, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of options, and I feel like it's getting more prominent and people are getting more open to it, to trying it, and just to even, having these options at restaurants and, other places out, food trucks, that kind of stuff. So it's
Mm-hmm. For sure. For sure. I mean, it's such an easy time to be vegan, I feel like, compared to almost 12 years ago when I initially transitioned. I mean, it was really hard to even find like a Boca burger, which,
yeah.
the kids today, as I'll put it, don't even know what a Boca burger is. Everybody is, on Impossible and Beyond, which, yeah, it was definitely, the struggle was a little bit more real then. And I'm not even, back in the day type of person. I mean, the pioneers of veganism literally just they could not go to the store and get any kind of like alternative product, right? They were lucky to find soy milk.
Yeah.
So, and then it was like at a health food store and was, $10 or something. So we've come a long way for sure to be able to just have so many amazing options, even in a small area like Northwest Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a blessing. You mentioned your daughter talking about candy. Are they plant-based as well,
Yes.
your
So
kids?
my kids, so when they were younger, they did have organic dairy and eggs because I was not vegan yet, but they have never
Mm-hmm.
eaten meat ever, neither of them. So yeah. And it's hard sometimes 'cause it's like, at school they have all these things going on and I've let the school know and the teachers. So, I bring or I'll, give them a snack or a treat so they're not left out. Um, but yeah, they know and they understand. And my oldest daughter, she's getting it and understanding it more and more. She even asked me this morning, she's like, "Can you get me one of those shirts that you have that says I don't eat my homies?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'll
Oh,
get you
it's awesome.
one." Like, but my little one, she's still like she's a little bit, she'll eat whatever. And if she doesn't know, or she's just like, "Oh, I'll eat it," because like we were talking about the Kit Kats. She's like, "Well, Noni gives them to me," which is my mom. And I was like, "Yes, but it's milk chocolate. It comes from the cow." And my
Yeah.
older one's like, "Yeah, I don't eat that." But my little one, she's still like, "Well, it's good." And I'm like, "Girl, you're still learning, but you'll get it one
Yeah.
day."
Yeah, for sure. My son has been vegan since conception, essentially, because I was vegan quite a bit prior to him arriving in this world. But yeah, he's 7 and he is starting to like have some more questions, I guess, like he's been educated along the way about, friends, not food type of mentality. Um, but now that he's amongst his peers in school, he's still holding his own and still feeling okay about it. But sometimes he's like, I wish I could have that. Or so then we make it veganized, so then he does have that. So it's the same kind of thing. I think that again with the generations now, it's much more accepting to be vegan at a young age and be in school and be eating plant based. Um, it's much more mainstream and people are aware of it. So I think our kids will have a bit of an easier time and won't feel isolated as
Yeah,
much. I don't think.
I
If
agree.
anything, they'll probably inspire those around them because there is the trendy part of veganism as well. That is good and bad to have that part of it. But I think that that could work in their favor, especially as young people out in the world being a little bit against the grain.
Yeah, for sure. And my daughter has struggled with that a little bit too because like she was telling me at school, she's like, "I'm the only person that has cold lunch." She's like, "Everybody eats hot lunch." And I was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Nobody's mom packed their lunch." And she said, "No." She's like, "Everybody at my table eats hot lunch and then they say my food is gross or weird." And I'm like,
Mm.
"Really?" And I was like, "So you eat like fruit for lunch, banana, and then, like I'll do the hippies, like the vegan Cheetos and like a pouch, and then some kind of treat or whatever." So, or she'll have like a peanut butter and jelly. And I asked her, I'm like, "Do you want to eat the hot lunch?" And she's like, "No, not really." And I said, "I'll call the school and ask." So I asked, I knew there probably wasn't going to be anything, but I saw the menu and the ingredients and all the foods, and I was just like, "Oh my God." And I even brought it up at a school board meeting. I'm like, "I'm thankful that you guys offer free lunch to the kids. And, I understand there's some families that really need the help. But I was like, when you really look at what you're feeding these children, it is cancer causing chemical, GMO, processed garbage crap, literally, that you are
Mm-hmm.
feeding these children." And I'm like, "How do you think that's going to affect their brain?" And then when they have birthdays, like I said, the treats they bring in, it's like GMO ice cream, all sugar dyes. My daughter knows. She's like, and she knows that we don't do, the food dyes and chemicals. But I feel like they're, not really setting up the next generation for health and, teaching them about food. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can show a 7-year-old a papaya and a plate of fries, and like they know what the fries are, but do they know what a papaya is? You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
crazy. But I'm glad, thank God for moms like us that are teaching our kids, how important truly that nutrition is, because that is the foundation of everything with your health, truly.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a struggle. And I deal with that same kind of thing with my son with the hot lunches. And so far, he hasn't really, said that he is wanting to try it or worried about what people say to him about what he eats. But yeah, that menu is definitely leaving something to be desired. And I think, I don't know, I think it just starts with their own history in food, whoever is creating those menus and in charge of what they feed the kids. It starts with them. They probably don't have the knowledge on food as you and I do to perhaps advocate for a better menu for schools. So maybe that's a project in the future for you and I to work on together. But yeah, I feel like the best that we can do is just with anything else is be the example, show up for our kids and, let them know why we just don't choose those foods, be it because of health or ethical reasons or environmental. There's so many reasons, of course, why the plant-based journey is better than omni journeys, but it's just about staying the path, staying the course, feeding people so that they don't think we're eating tree bark, right?
Yeah, rabbit food, just let it. Like, come
I
on.
know.
No.
I know. The struggle is so real. When you talk about the other passion in your life as well, your lifting journey, CrossFit type workouts, how are you feeling with that in regards to your juicing and mostly raw, right? Mostly raw diet. Is that what I see that you are eating most of the time?
Yeah, so I would say I'm about an 80-20 raw with cooked foods. I mean, I don't eat cooked foods a lot, but I still eat them for sure. It's not like I deprive myself. It's just I feel better physically, mentally, spiritually when I do raw foods. I can tell a huge difference in my body and my gut. Um, but yeah, it's not like I'm an elite athlete. I've always been athletic and worked out my whole life. Even in college, like I was just dedicated. I stayed in the gym. I've always been that way. Just I've always been like that, and I really truly enjoy working out. But I started CrossFit when I was 33, and that is when I really learned about food, nutrition, that kind of stuff. And when I took this class about nutrition, and they really teach the paleo diet, and I converted to paleo, and I did that for a while, and I felt really good. I was making gains and feeling great. But then once I got pregnant, I could not handle the smell, texture, taste of meat, any of that. So then I was thinking, okay, well, this is just for right now and I'll be okay. And then I'll go back and I'll, get back on chicken or whatever. But then as I was changing and evolving, I was like, I don't want that. I didn't feel like that. And then I had talked to some other friends because I was like, having the two kids in 2 years, and then I'm not one of those people. It's like, I got to get my body back because it's like, you're never going to have the body that you had. You had kids. It's never going to be the same. Like you're
Mhm.
changed forever. So it's not about getting my body back. It's about creating this new badass vessel that is an example to my kids, my family, to everyone to show them that yes, you can be a strong plant-based athlete, and on top of that, you can be a strong plant-based raw foods athlete. And I heard a lot of criticism from former CrossFit friends, not bad, but just joking around. They're like, oh man, that's never going to work. All that sugar with the juices, no protein shakes, no meat, you're not going to do anything. And then here it is. I'm like, well, look at this. I'm 42 years old. I just smashed a 275-pound deadlift at the end of December. I'm continually gaining strength and feeling so good.
Yeah.
I'm like, the proof is in the pudding. I don't take any supplements. I'm not on any powders. I don't take any protein, anything. So I'm like, it's all the fruit. The amino acids in the fruit is what's building my muscles and strength. And I feel amazing, honestly. Like I feel so good now, and I feel stronger, leaner, and lighter now at 42 than I did, at 35 or 33. And I just feel amazing. I'm continually making gains, and I train 5 days a week. The CrossFit Open is going on right now. I didn't sign up this year. I just feel like there's been a lot of changes within CrossFit over the past year. And I was just like, I'm going to do them for fun, but I'm not going to actually go and get judged and all that. I was like, I'm good. So I still do competitions here and there, but it's really just, it's me against me. It's like I'm not competing against anybody else. I just want to be the best version of myself. And I've been in my garage gym for almost 5 years, and just to continue to get strong, not get hurt, and work on my lifts. I still suck at snatches. It's been almost 10 years, but I still try them and do them. But yeah, like my back squat, my front squat, my deadlift, my cleans, everything. It's like I'm continually progressing, and I'm getting older. So I'm like, what does that tell you? It's like the proof is in the pudding right there. So definitely, like, it's like, go for it. If you feel in your heart, your mind, it's like, this is what you want to do it, give it a try, and that's what I was like, well, shoot, last year or 2 years ago, my deadlift was 250. Then this last year it was 275. So I'm like 25 pounds of strength in a year. So this year, you better believe I'm going for the 300. I'm like, I'm going to get it for sure. I'm going to get it. Yes. So yeah.
That's so amazing. I mean, you just, step right into those intimidating situations of, well, I don't have it yet, but I'm going to get it. And, you're just trying to beat yourself essentially, which is really awesome. You're not competing with anybody else. I think that's a lot of times what shuts people down or discourages them, is they think that they have to somehow be better than who's ever standing next to them. It's like, no, just be better than who you were yesterday. Yes. Just keep progressing forward.
Yes, that's what it's all about. And I just try to encourage people to, like, as a mom and a woman, it's like, you want to feel strong and confident and sexy and beautiful. And these are all things that help you feel all of those ways. I do feel so good. And, I want my girls to be proud of me, and they know, they're like, mom is so strong. And then even this morning, my daughter was like, why is your butt like, like the way I was like, you want to touch it? I'm like, because it's a muscle. That's why I do squats, so you can have a nice booty. I'm like, your glutes are an actual muscle. So it was funny, but they noticed that, and I was like, yeah, if you don't work out and take care of yourself, then you're not going to be strong and fit. And I love being strong and fit. So that's why I continue to do it. So
right. And that's so amazing that you're influencing young women like that, helping them understand that strong is the new beautiful. Being strong is beautiful. It's not about, the size of anything on your body. It's how you feel. And if you are healthy and taking care of you, like, that's more attractive than anything else that is just touched up or, made to feel fake or look fake.
yes, I agree. And that's one thing, like I tell my clients when they come to me, it's like, do not focus on your size or your weight, because I am not about that. And if that's what you want, then we're not a fit, because like you just said, it's about cleansing the inside of the body, repairing the tissues and cells on a molecular level, detoxing the body, health, fitness, and like I tell people, I'm a big girl. I'm 5'9". I don't own a scale. The last time I got weighed, I weighed 147. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care about that. And, I know I'm never going to be a size 0 because I'm a big girl. Like, I'm 5'9". My body frame is not that type. And that's okay. And I just feel like women are so hard on themselves. It's like a number is never going to bring you satisfaction. If it's 2, 4, 6, or the scale says 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care about any of that. And that's why I try to push and encourage as well. Because it's like, I care about when I look in the mirror, feeling healthy, sexy, confident, beautiful, strong, seeing my muscles. And that's what makes me feel good. I don't care if it's like, oh yeah, I need to be this size, whatever. Get out of here with that. Not for me, girl. I want to see, like, this muscle needs to be bigger. All right. Like, that's what I'm about.
Yeah, for sure. I can still relate to that. And I love that you don't have a scale. I don't own a scale either. And I've just always just thought that no matter what that number says, I'm never going to be happy with it. Why would you start your day off getting on a scale and starting in a mindset of just negativity? So even as a running coach, which I did that for several years. I would always tell my runners, this is not about, losing weight. This is about you feeling strong and healthy and having endurance. It doesn't matter what that number says. So, I mean, yes, as a, bonus, running can create weight loss, but it's certainly shouldn't be the primary goal. You should be doing activities like lifting or running because, for one, they feed your soul and make you feel amazing just, as a person and strong and capable. But also just, just completely for the health of it all overall, not for the numbers on the scale. Just an awful way to start the day and end the day.
I agree. Like you said, like starting the day like that and then going into that negative mindset, it's so unhealthy. It really is. So
Yeah, that mindset too is just, it's everything too. It brings to mind just everything with the juicing and lifting and just veganism in general, or just starting the day off with the kids right. Just that mindset has so much power in our day. Turning on the TV and listening to the awful news is not the best way to start the day. It's, stay informed, stay educated, but it's like to start it off with bad news, right? Whether it's the number on the scale, the news on the TV. I even try to just not even turn on social media for a good hour after I get up. Just don't even do that, any of that, because whatever you see, it's like it's immediate information. It's like an immediate download of what you should be thinking about from that moment on for the day. It just doesn't resonate.
No, I agree.
How do you start your day?
So I Monday through Friday, I wake up at 4:07 a.m. and literally it's 4:07 a.m. I have it timed out perfectly. So in the winter, I have to turn on my garage heat because obviously it's cold in there. So after that, I come up back upstairs and wash my face, brush my teeth, get ready, and then I'll start my workout by 4:30. And then I work out from 4:30 to 5:30. Sometimes 5:45, 6 o'clock is really pushing it. That's like not good because I gotta shower, get ready, then I get my kids ready for school. So I every day I do my workout Monday through Wednesday. Friday, Saturday is workout, and then on Thursdays I do yoga and meditation in the mornings. So I always do that, and then I do a gratitude journal every morning. Write down, my journal, and then after that it's start work and if the kids are off to school, and then ready for the day. So yes, every day is started like that. And then I agree with you because I used to just have the TV on in the morning in the background just to hear the news. I can't do all that. We canceled our cable like 2 or 3 years ago. We don't ever watch TV anymore. And in the morning now, every morning I listen to motivational speeches while I'm getting ready. Lewis Howes, Eric the hip hop preacher, um, what's his name, Les Brown, all these great motivators and speakers. So that is what I'm feeding my mind every morning, just positivity, motivation, inspiration. And that absolutely helps, with my day. So it's like today I did my yoga meditation. I'm like, it's going to be a good day, positivity. I'm like, everything's going to be, it's going to be a great day. And it is. So yeah, you gotta have that positive mentality. It's truly helps.
You are just like the perfect example of what we all should aspire to do every day to put us in the right mindset. I mean, that is just such like a perfect vision of all the things, from working out to journaling to meditation. I mean, it's just all right there. Listening, putting yourself in the presence of that positive energy. We all should aspire to have your routine in the morning. What do you do to just make sure that you stay on track with that? Because, motivation, I feel like, is not the best tool for success because it goes away.
Yes.
Right? You can't really do things just because you're motivated, because most of us are not motivated. You might have that initial little motivation for a couple of days. People get on track with like a routine or something, but then not so much. So you have to do it anyways, right? Even though you're not motivated. How do you
Yeah.
stay on track with that?
Yes, great question. So, I'll be honest, like during the winter, it is hard to work out because it's like it's cold and it's so early and it's like, you peel the covers off and it's like, oh God, and then I got to change my clothes and it's cold again and it's cold in the garage till it warms up. So I agree, like motivation will get you started, but discipline is really what's going to keep you going. So I know in my mind that the only time that I have to myself to work out like that uninterrupted is that early in the morning. Because after that, you could forget it. Work, picking up the kids from school, karate, swimming, after school activities, homework, bath, dinner. By the time it's all done, when is it time for mom? You know what I mean?
Right.
I know that if I don't do that, then that's it. I miss my window. And I know that in my heart, my mind, my body, my soul, my spirit, that it feels so good to start the day like that. And I just do it because there's no other option. If I don't do that, I'll feel so like off and bad and gross that it drives me to just keep going. So I don't miss because I'm like, this is it. Like if you don't get up and do it, then that's it. And I want to be fit. I want to be lean. I want to be stronger. And if I just lay in bed and sleep, I'm not going to achieve those things. So that's what continually drives me. And then seeing my progress as well, like seeing the actual definition of my muscles, my stomach actually going away. Like I still have a little pooch, but still working on it. And that's what continues to drive me, having that disciplined mind and just sticking with it. And I'll be honest with you, like 98% of my clients, they tell me that they just don't have that discipline. They struggle. So many people struggle with it. And it's really like a 2% elite of people that really can stay on track, stay motivated, and driven to continue to get to the goal. So for me, it's just like I said, I know that that's the only time I have, and I take it very seriously. Like I train, I'm on programming and everything. So it's like I'm not going to miss my opportunity because then it's like, do you think you're going to want to do it at like 6 at night when you get home from karate or, the kids, you're trying to make dinner or bath, and then it's interrupted, mom this, mom that? No, 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 no. So I'm like, if you want to make the gains, you better show up in the Rican hot box and get it in, girl. So I just do it.
I love that so much. You are so damn inspiring, and we all should aspire to just have your discipline and focus every day with all the things because you are an example on getting it done, doing it, achieving it, and just showing other people how to do that too. It's just amazing. Just amazing. You're amazing. Evie, tell us where we can find you. How can we find you and stay connected with you and potentially work with you?
Yes, so you guys can check out my website. It's eviekevish.com. I'm sure it'll be linked in the
It
description.
will.
And then also, you could follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, just my name, Evie Kevish. And then I also recently started a TikTok. I don't know. I said I was never going to get on there, but now I have one. So same thing, Evie Kevish. And then I also have a Facebook. But to be honest with you, I don't really ever use it or post on there. I just have it as part of my branding campaign with my brand, which is me. But yes, so basically my website and Instagram are the best way to get in touch with me. And, feel free to check out my social media. I offer free juicing recipes and tips to help people. And then if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and let me know, and I'm happy to help. So thank you so
Awesome.
much, Sarah.
Awesome. Awesome. I love talking to you today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Have a great day.
Bye. You too.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, you guys, as awesome as that was, it did not even scratch the surface. But here's what I took away from it, anyways. One, it's not about having the best body, it's about creating a badass vessel. Two, starting every day with gratitude will help put you in the mindset of dedication. Three, showing up for yourself is benefiting everyone else, including you, and showing your kids a great example. I hope you gained so much inspiration from this conversation that'll help you fuel a dedicated mindset to put your goals into focus. New from Evie that wasn't yet available at the time of this recording is handcrafted juice blends. Whether you are looking for fresh, cold pressed juice or are looking to cleanse, detox, and heal, Evie has the juices you want and need. Currently offering local pickup only, local as in Northwest Indiana or Chi-Town. Contact links are in the show notes to order, to get coached, and to stay connected with Evie. Trust me, she is definitely someone that you need in your everyday life. Thanks for showing your support today of What's on Your Plate. I love being here with you every week. I'm always open to your suggestions and feedback. Who do you think should be on the podcast? Who do you think has a great conversation to offer? Head over to leelulosvegan.com and leave your input in the Feed Us Your Thoughts form. I absolutely love hearing from you. I'll see you next Thursday.